Shaloha, everybody. Welcome to the wedding of Jacob and Elise. I know that I speak on behalf of all of us when I say how grateful we feel to be here today and to be able to surround you in love as you begin this new adventure in life together. This is really that picture-perfect moment that you've waited so long for, one that you've only pictured in your mind for so long, but that now really is here. Actually, you know what? It is a pretty picture-perfect moment. Hold on, get a little closer together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, and now it's your turn. Take out your phones if you have them. Take a quick picture. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now take those phones and turn them off and put them away for the remainder of this time, trusting that your hearts and your minds will capture all of the memories as well as our professionals. My name is Cantor Becky Mann, and I am honored to be here today to officiate this wedding for Elise, my fellow Hamilton enthusiast, and Jacob, the co-manager of my 2001 backyard baseball team. And what a gift it is for all of us, because everyone here is here today because your presence in the lives of these two have truly played a part of their story, a story that has led them to one another. Jacob and Elise began the ceremony this morning by circling one another, a Jewish wedding tradition that signifies intertwining lives together as one. And we stand now beneath this chuppah, this wedding canopy that symbolizes a home, open on all 4 sides so that you truly do feel surrounded by the love in every direction, both today and in every day going forward as a couple. And so we will begin this ceremony with joy and with sweetness. In many faith traditions, we use wine as a symbol of joy and sweetness. But in the lives of these two, that sweetness is all the more amplified in the form of Hawaiian Airlines Passion Orange Guava Juice. So, Jacob, I'll invite you to open this can. And to pour it into this glass. And as you will each take a sip, that's good. As you'll each take a sip from this cup this morning, may it be that symbol of the joy that is doubly gladdened, the bitterness sweetened, and truly your individual fulfillment all the stronger because it now rests in the fulfillment of the others. And we say a blessing, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, God, creator of the fruit of the vine and of Hawaiian Airlines. We'll also say a blessing that begins many wedding ceremonies and many big moments in life, which is a blessing called Shehechianu, which simply in Hebrew means that we are alive. It is a blessing of gratitude for reaching this very moment in time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Feel free to join with me if you know it. Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, God, creator of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this very day. And together we say, Amen. Some might say that this day, in fact, was a long time coming, for this story dates back 14 years ago when you first met on your very first day of school at USC, thanks to a random dorm assignment that placed you across the hall from one another. And during that first week of school, you both decided to take one of the shuttle trips going from USC to downtown LA to explore the area with a group of friends. And it didn't take long, though, for a group of newly independent 18-year-olds to find themselves in a little bit of trouble when you came across a Ritz-Carlton under construction and decided to see how far they could get in the building. Elise, who had never before broken a rule, was feeling a little bit nervous but wanted to make friends, so decided to go and follow the group as they ascended the stairwell. And she noticed that there was another slightly salt and pepper haired boy who was also hanging behind, just feeling a little bit nervous about breaking a rule. And it was that day that Jacob and Elise both felt a little comforted knowing there was someone there that was a little more their pace. And when the group got milkshakes later that evening, they also found that they shared a similar humor, making each other laugh as they joked about the day. They became close friends over freshman and sophomore year, and even as Jacob became busier with music and Elise busier with engineering, they remained in touch over the years and would get together to catch up whenever they had a chance. One of those times was early 2020, right before Jacob was set to leave on tour. They met up to catch up, and mere days later, a pandemic began. Elise recalls Jacob being one of the last people that she saw before quarantine. And while they didn't see each other again for over a year, they made plans that as soon as things were safe again, they would hang out and catch up. It became clear that this friendship, this deep, years-long friendship, had laid the foundation for something deeper. And in August of 2021, they went on their first date to the pageant of the Masters, which was only a date, they knew, because Jacob decided to get his car cleaned beforehand. In 2022, they moved in together and began building an even greater life of sweetness, one filled with gardening and long walks, musicals and concerts, and traveling around the world together. In April of last year, they took a trip with Elise's family to Japan, and it was on that trip that Jacob told Don and Doreen about his plans to propose. And while they were so excited, they made sure he knew not to tell Grandma unless she wanted the whole island to know. Jacob's plan was to wait a couple months after that trip to propose, but not even 10 days after they returned, he pulled a ring out of his sock drawer one evening and popped the question. For anyone that knows Jacob and Elise, it is clear that these two are meant for one another, and that the love that you have for each other really is endless. Jacob, Elise loves how you can laugh about anything together, and at the same time how you always will take her seriously. She loves that you have always seen her for herself, and that no matter where you are in the world together, she is most at home when she is with you. And Elise, Jacob loves how hilariously competitive you are in any game or competition, no matter what the stakes. He loves the sound of your laugh and also the sound of your annoyed silence when one of his jokes fails. And he loves how you will do anything for the people that you love. When I asked the two of you what you were most excited about when you thought about a future together, you told me just the everyday things, watching our garden grow and experiencing life together. Elise, Jacob, you have already planted a garden that has grown from the smallest buds of friendship into a blossoming field of love. May this wedding day only be the beginning of the abundant life you will harvest together as you watch your garden grow. So at this time, I want to invite both of you to share the written vows that you have prepared for one another.
Jacob, it was a crazy act of fate that placed us across the hall from each other in freshman year of college. If not for the USC housing gods, I don't know if we would have crossed paths. Normally, when I meet new people, I tend to stay quiet and listen more than speak, but I don't think you ever saw that side of me. Somehow I was instantly comfortable with you and never felt like I had to put up any walls. It didn't take long to realize we would soon be good friends. I remember the moment I knew we were actually friends and not just acquaintances. We were at dinner in the dining hall with the whole Parkside crew. I forget the context, but we caught each other's eyes and burst out laughing because we knew exactly what the other was thinking. No topic was too trivial or too deep to discuss, and no one else seemed to be on our wavelength, a pattern that continues to this day. After college, we both got busy starting our careers, but we always made sure to catch up. It might have been months between meals, but it never felt like much time had passed. I left every lunch with a smile on, happy to call you my friend, and waiting for the day when I could tell everyone that I knew the famous Jacob man. Then the pandemic hit and the world changed. Both of our careers were put on hold and everything was uncertain. When things finally began to open up again, we reconnected. You came back into my life, older, wiser, definitely with more gray hair. Our connection was still as strong as ever, but now I wondered if we were truly meant to just be friends or if we had a shot at being something more. We took the leap and haven't looked back. You truly make me happier and add so much joy to my life. You encourage me to be my full, authentic self and inspire me to be better and work at my goals. You never question me when I do things like go to Costco for 50 pounds of soil or sign up for a last-minute speed puzzling competition the week before our wedding. Instead, you volunteer your car as a designated soil pickup car and bring home a suitcase full of puzzles for me to practice with. I want to travel the world walking side by side with you so we can collect crazy stories. I need to see the sparkle in your eyes when you think of something silly. Even if we have nothing special planned, we always seem to find a way to make our days fun and full of adventure. If we can make each other laugh at least once a day for the rest of our lives, I think that's a pretty great way to live. I know that we can work out any problem together. We balance each other out with my tendency to overthink and your tendency to jump into action. We make sure my never-ending plans actually get executed. I didn't think I would find someone as organized and particular as I was that wouldn't drive me crazy. I admire the way your goals are fueled by your passions. It never feels like you're going through the motions or doing something only because you think you have to. It's exciting that we can both chase our dream careers and have a fulfilling life together in between. I know that who we are today is not who we will be in 50 years or even 1 year from now, but we are not the same people we were at 18. And the fact that we've remained such good friends over all that time makes me sure we will continue to grow together for the rest of our lives. I promise to never stop trolling you, so you remember to keep a healthy dose of skepticism about the world. I promise to keep working on your civil engineering education as I explain how valves work. I promise to always give you a play-by-play of my most exciting board game moments and to gasp dramatically when things aren't going my way. I love you fully with every part of my heart and soul, and I promise to always choose happiness over fear. You are my true soulmate, and I am so lucky to have found you and to have fallen in love with my best friend. I love you.
Elise, the first time I remember being across from you was in USC's Parkside Dining Hall almost 14 years ago. I was eating breakfast by myself when you came over to join me. I was slightly surprised, but we went on to have an enjoyable conversation. It would be the first of many. There have been several twists and turns in our lives since that morning, and I'm thankful for every one of them since they led us to this moment. I'm incredibly grateful for our decade-long friendship, which laid the foundation for a love I never thought possible. Falling in love with anything other than music was never in my plan, but you've shown me what true love feels like, and I wish this feeling for every person in the world. Loving you feels so natural, and the love I feel from you enriches my life more than words could ever express. I love so much about you. I love that you value showing up on time and working hard regardless of the task. I love that you are a lifelong learner and a great teacher and mentor to those around you. I love that you have so many passions and that you strive to live such a well-rounded life. I love your pride in where you're from and the way you share the spirit of aloha with your mainland friends. I love seeing your eyes light up with joy while talking about your friends, family, and plants. I also love seeing your eyes roll when I try to say something funny. I love your thoughtfulness, and as your partner, I certainly don't take it for granted. I love that we can always find something to talk about or laugh about, and I love that we can enjoy each other's company, even if we're talking about nothing at all. You are everything I could possibly wish for in a partner and so much more. As your husband, I will always be right here beside you, to rejoice in our successes and to face our challenges head on, to provide a listening ear and a hand to hold. I will continue to support your goals and dreams, as you so often do for me. I will eventually learn some recipes other than roasted salmon and vegetables. I will do my best to buy things on sale or in bulk, and when possible, both. I'm excited to continue starting and ending our days together, whether we are side by side or an ocean apart. I can't wait to spend many more years traveling, seeing musicals and concerts, taking walks, and laughing with you. Most of all, I will do my best to let you know how much I love you every day through my words and actions. As the years go by, I will look back at this moment just as I look back at that first breakfast and think about how lucky I am to have found you in this life. It feels like we've made a lifetime's worth of memories already, but I'm filled with joy when I realize we're just getting started. I love you.
Beautiful. I think we got some tissues on lock over here with the Tylers. In addition to these beautiful written vows, Jacob and Elise have also prepared their own version of traditional wedding vows, which they will now exchange along with rings. So I'll invite Tyler to share the rings with us. They say that a ring has no beginning and no ending, just like love. But we know that rings do, in fact, have a beginning. Their metal comes from the rock of the earth, which is dug up, melted, shaped, cooled, and polished, and from something raw comes something beautiful. Your relationship is just like that. From humble beginnings, that first hello, that first week of school, to experiencing all of the ups and downs of life together and knowing that someone always has your back. So, Elise, I'll invite you to place that ring on Jacob's finger. And Jacob, I'll ask you, do you take Elise to be your wife, to walk through the neighborhood and through life hand in hand, to laugh with her more than at her, to build a home full of music and a backyard full of plants, to enjoy the good times and bring home boba during the bad times, to cherish in friendship and love today, tomorrow, and for as long as the two of you live? And Jacob, if you will now place the ring on Elise's finger. And I'll ask you, Elise, do you take Jacob to be your husband, to walk through the neighborhood and through life hand in hand, to laugh with him more than at him, to build a home full of music and a backyard full of plants, to enjoy the good times and bring home pizza during the bad times, and to cherish in friendship and love today, tomorrow, and for as long as the two of you live? These rings that you exchange symbolize the promises you make to one another. And just before the ceremony, you also signed your name to promises you wrote in your ketubah, which is a traditional Jewish marriage contract, which today serves as a document of intention. And I'll invite everyone at the reception to take a look at Jacob and Elise's ketubah, which they designed as well with images that bring both of their cultures together. We have in there bamboo, a nod to the Takabayashi name. There is ukuleles, challah, palm trees, and of course the unifier of all cultures, pickleball. And I want to share with you just a few of the words that they signed their names to just moments ago. They said, "Together we shall create a home with learning, laughter, and compassion, a home wherein we will honor each other's cherished family traditions and values, Let us join hands to help build a world filled with peace and with love. And with those words of peace and love in our midst, it's my honor to invite my sister, Joey, to join me as we share in what is the most ancient blessing, known as the priestly benediction, a blessing that asks God to protect, to bless, to keep, and to most importantly, shine light and peace upon this beloved couple. And I'll also invite Joey to help me wrap Jacob and Elise in blessing as we share these words with them. We're going to wrap them symbolically in this tallis, in this prayer shawl that belonged to Jacob's great-grandfather, Oscar Mann, who Jacob holds the middle name Oscar in honor of him. So I'll invite you two to come together. And we'll share these words of blessing with you. Blessed may you feel here all that is so dear, keeping the flame that shines within your soul. Blessed may you lean in to all that you're dreaming, knowing there's light on the roads you're yet to know. And may light guide you home. Blessed may you feel all that is so dear, keeping the flame that shines within your soul. Blessed may you lean in, do all that you're dreaming, knowing there's light on the road you're yet to know. Blessed may you feel here all that is so dear, keeping the flame that shines within your soul. I don't know if anyone noticed, when we sang of light, it seemed to almost get a little bit lighter. We have now reached what is the final ritual of our wedding ceremony, and that is the smashing of glass. If you ask anyone if they know the exact reason why it is a tradition to stomp on a glass at a wedding, and they tell you they know, they're wrong. There are many different explanations for why we do this, and I just want to share one today that I find to be particularly meaningful. While this is a day of great celebration and joy, we know that there is still so much brokenness in our world. But this marriage and your love and your lives together can act as a force of repair in our world, knowing that each of us can take comfort in the fact that you will bring just a little more love and wholeness to a world that so desperately needs it. So we'll set this. And now, in the presence of these witnesses, your beloved family and friends, and in accordance with Jewish tradition in the laws of the state of California, by the power vested in me, it is my honor to pronounce you for the very first time husband and wife.